Well, hello, everybody. Welcome and happy Friday. I apologize. Oh, first of all, I apologize that my throat is a little bit gummed up. The works are a little gummed up today, you guys. But we're going to do the best we can. Today, on this live stream, we're going to go over a couple of news items, and I'll be taking a lot of your questions. We like to call it Q&A, but really it's Q&R, right? If I don't know the answer, you'll at least get a response. But I was planning. You can see over my shoulder here. The screen is flickering there. That's the PS5, and I was going to kind of go over the video that I did yesterday, and kind of do some live look around on the PS5 streaming wise. But for some reason, the laptop that I use to share my screen over there is really giving me fits lately. So I'll see. Maybe we'll take a little break halfway through this stream, and I'll pop over and see if I can make it work. Um, but we'll see how it goes. First of all, so welcome to everybody. We're going to get to the news items in just a moment, but this is something that I've been keeping my eye on. So if I go pop back into my Roku screen, I know you guys can't really see it. I apologize for that, but I am going to look. Yep, I don't have it either yet. Still nothing. So I am going to go. Now I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go into my settings and double check that the system is updated. It usually checks for an update every day. Software update. Last checked this morning at 2:07 a.m. I'll check it again just to make sure. But John, good keeping an eye out. And it looks like, yeah, everything is up to date. Still on software version 11.0. And nothing. Yep, still no. I can't remember what they were going to call that feature. But yeah, nothing there for me yet. All right, so let's start off with a little news, and then I will do a little better job of greeting everybody. I wanted to point this out. So Roku comes out with new products every so often. This happens all the time. So we just talked last week briefly about the new Roku Ultra. We can maybe talk about that a little bit more, but I thought this was pretty fun. For anybody who's a kind of a weekend warrior, they like to get out, do their yard work, host get-togethers, or maybe you're a restaurant owner or something like that. Roku and Element have partnered for their first outdoor TV. Here we go. So let's see, coming to Walmart for $1,300. So it's a 55-inch outdoor Element Roku TV coming to Walmart for $1,300. So this is more probably Element news than it is Roku news. Roku is obviously powering the OS on this TV, but good on Element for coming up with an outdoor Roku TV. It is, if you're wondering, $55 or 55 inches. I could get that for 400, $500. Yeah, you probably could, but outdoor TVs are tough to make. They have to be dust resistant, water resistant, whatever. But this is pretty cool. So if you have, an outdoor area that you like to enjoy often, if you prefer to sit outdoors, then that TV might be good for you. Or like I said, if you're a business owner who feels like it's a good idea to get a TV outside, then that might be cool. I agree with this line right here. Good but not spectacular. 700 nits of brightness. What does that mean? It doesn't matter. Like the technical spec doesn't matter. But basically, what it means is if the sun is hitting it, it'll be tough to see. But otherwise, it should be fine. Okay, cool. So there's our little first bit. And we'll see what happens with Roku and Elements there on that. Okay. All right. Welcome, Derek. William is here for the general merriment. Got 4 questions ready to go. All right. So William Mack, welcome. Andy, Derek, John said hi to you already. Let's see. Baba, David, Mel, Frayden. Frayden's here. Morgan is here. Lots of people here. So, yes, welcome, everybody. We'll see what else we have to talk about. But I am Uh, David was hoping for specific merriment. I was too. I was hoping for more of a uh an interesting situation with the PS5 screen sharing. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. Uh, David wanted specific merriment. Here I'm only equipped to provide general, but let me actually just flip off my camera here. Haha, you know what I mean. And then go check on that laptop, see if I can get it working. Okay, just a moment. I need some hold music, you know? Nope, nothing doing. Nothing doing, you guys. Oh, that's so frustrating. So frustrating. All right. Well, tell you what. David, I'm sorry. We're going to have to go with the general merriment today. When I so I quit my full-time job like a year ago, and have been doing, solo work, a lot of freelance work, a lot of contract work, that sort of thing. And when I did that, I had to turn in the laptop that I had been given by my employer, right? So it's not mine, but so I had to give it back to them. And so I said, well, I do need a laptop, so I'll go out and buy my own. But I was trying to be responsible, so I said, I'm not gonna replace the nice MacBook Pro that I had with something equally expensive. So I'll you know I don't need something that nice. So I bought a budget laptop, not super budget, because I do media production, so it has to be able to handle some Adobe products, that sort of thing. So I go out and buy this laptop. I'm not going to tell you who it was from because I'm not a laptop review guy, but it was a somewhat cheaper PC model, and when I did that, um, I immediately regretted it. I should show you guys the battery brick on that thing. The AC adapter is nuts. It is intense. That sort of thing where, and then the Wi-Fi doesn't work quite right, or the mouse, the trackpad isn't quite as responsive as I want, whatever. It's annoying. So you let that be a lesson to you. You get what you pay for. Now I got to go replace my laptop that I've only had for a year. It's annoying. Okay, so where were we? Where were we? Let's get some questions going. Uh, uh, uh. Where are we? Oh my gosh. Somebody said the return of drive-in movies. What's the? I must have missed something. Okay. Hello, Paul. Hello, William. Hello, Jeff. No comments after the fact from Jeff. Oh, that's too bad. You can still do it. You can still do it. It just won't have quite the same impact that it might have otherwise. Um, all right. Can I send you Roku products to review? I cannot. I do not work for Roku, despite how often I talk about them and generally how positively I talk about them. No, I do not work for Roku, so nope, I can't. Um, flip off that camera. Just don't flip off your camera. There you go. All right. Well, let's see. Derek got the photo stream update on his Roku, but not the watch list one. What were they going to call that? I'd have to look it up again. Oh, the outdoor TV drive-in movies. Yeah, right. We'll need a something in the 3 digits of inches for a drive-in movie. But I do I actually like the idea with a TV like this. I like the idea of putting something out on my porch. Um, I think we all spend way too much time indoors. Okay, maybe not all of us, but who is it from William Mack from Central, West Central Idaho, North Central Idaho, whatever it is. If you're North Central Idaho, that's got to be like the Ketchum Haley area, and you probably spend a lot of time outdoors. But the rest of us spend too much time indoors. And yeah, I like the idea. It's not in my budget to trick out my patio like that. But someday when it is, it'll be good to have something like that. All right. Disney Plus ad supported tiers coming faster than we thought. That could be true. I mean, that's true of the Netflix ad supported tier. But let's see what the latest is on the Disney Plus one. Okay. Okay, so here's one from Variety. That's good. I didn't read the Variety one yesterday, but I did see this pop up. So this is from a couple of days ago. Let's go ahead and take a look of what Frayden is reminding us of here. All right, so Disney expects most Disney Plus subscribers will take its cheaper ad-based plan. All right, so yeah, what I'm curious about, and of course they won't tell you until right before it rolls out, is what it's going to cost. But they do have a little bit of info that came through. I wonder if it's in this article. They said that they're going to try to keep it to 4 minutes per hour. Okay, yeah, they do have it in this article. The ad-supported tier will have an average of 4 minutes per hour out of the gate. A lighter load than Hulu. Hulu, I think, comes in at like 6, maybe. All right. Oh, interesting. Partly that's because 65% of viewing on Disney Plus is movies, which has fewer ad breaks than the series. Okay. Hey, that's a nice little tidbit. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Part of the appeal of Disney Plus has always been the access to the vault, as they call it, right? The Disney Vault. So having access to all those old, new classic, semi-classic Disney movies, that's kind of one of the major draws, always has been. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. Oh gosh, you guys, we'll see how long my throat holds out. It's been a rough spring, hasn't it? For those who are here on this stream a lot, it's been a rough spring, with sore throats and whatnot. So, but yeah, Frayden, thanks for bringing that up. That's good. That's good catch on the Disney Plus stuff. All right, now we don't need a projector. Yeah, well, although a projector can be better. I mean, depending on your situation and the weather and all that stuff, a projector could be the better way to go. But yeah. Okay, on the Snake River, an hour and a half. I assume you mean east of Spokane. That makes sense. All right. So Robert was saying that Hulu's got a special for streaming day. Okay, let's look up Hulu's streaming day special. Oops, there we go. Hulu streaming day special. Let's see what they've got. Oh boy, you are correct. Oh, that just came through this morning, it looks like. Okay. That's why I missed it. I tend to look kind of late the night before at what's going on in prep for these streams, and so this just came through like an hour ago. It looks like, but that's good catch, Robert. Let's see. Let's pull it up here. So this is from Good Morning America. I don't really care where it comes from as long as they get the facts right. So let's see. Blah blah blah. Hulu's ad-supported plan. $1 per month for 3 months. Where is this, or when is this coming on? National Streaming Day. Is that today? You guys, that's something I should know. Oh no. Okay, yeah, it has to be. Oh, for a second I thought we'd already passed that. In May 27th. Time is a flat circle. What is truth? Who am I? There's no way to know for sure. I can't even keep track of the date anymore. That's how old I am. May 27th. So yeah, it looks like we got a week to get on top of that. So hey, that's a great find, Robert. Thank you for letting us know about that. All right. Oh no. William Mack has a serious question coming up. That's not what I like to hear. I don't need any serious questions from William Mack. I don't know if I can handle them, but we'll see. Okay. You could just keep buying $400 indoor TVs until they die. 3 for 1. You'd let me know how that goes. Let me know how that goes. It's funny. You probably could, if you bought a cover for it and covered it when you're not using it, you could probably get away with that in a lot of like southwestern states. If you're in Arizona, New Mexico, West Texas, that sort of thing, you might be able to get away with that for a little while. It's not the craziest thing I've ever heard, is what I'm trying to say. Um, uh, but if you're anywhere with humidity, not happening. So if you're anywhere in the East Coast, the Northwest, but yeah, you're good. You're probably good with like kind of those desert southwestern states or some of the Mountain West. You'd probably be okay, but you'd still have to get a cover for the dust. All right. All right. William Mack said he had a serious question coming up. I am so nervous. All right. Why do you think it is YouTube this past year has increased their ad time for watching videos by tenfold? 2 to 15 second ads before video starts, and one more in the middle of a 5 to 10 minute video. I don't know what the numbers are. I doubt that it's tenfold, but it is more. And it's the same thing that we ran into, or that we're about to run into with Netflix. YouTube, we have to talk about YouTube as a different category from other streamers, right? Here, let's get rid of this thing. YouTube is in a different category. This is not competing with Netflix. It's not competing with, Hulu. It's not competing with Disney Plus or, the live streamers. It's in a category all by itself, and nobody else can touch it in that category that it's in. That kind of user generated content. Um, very, it's a YouTube. The thing about YouTube is it's a social media platform. We don't think of it that way, but it is a social media platform versus, something like Netflix. This is not a social media platform. It is not user generated content. So in some ways, YouTube is closer to Twitter than it is to Netflix, right? But anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. Now that we know what YouTube is, and we know just how hard it dominates its area, why do they do this? Why have they increased their ads? Well, because they can. It's it's one of those things. They kind of like how Netflix kept raising their prices. It was like a meme at a certain point. Every 8 to 12 months, you'd get another $1 price increase on Netflix. And they did that for a long time, essentially because they could, until they couldn't anymore, right? And so YouTube, I doubt they're going to play as foolish a game as it seemed like Netflix did for a while. YouTube is I think, a little more established and stable than Netflix, but it's the same kind of idea. They don't have any near peers in their field, and so they can get away with that. And it's for those of you who don't know, the number one search engine in the world is Google, right? Go to google.com. That's your number one search engine in the world. What's number two? YouTube. More people search on YouTube than any other search engine outside of Google. And so like that is what you call a stranglehold, right? So it's, if they're serving up the ads, and you'll notice, a lot of people will notice that kind of like William Mack says here, 2 15-second ads. A lot of times the first one will be non-skippable, and then the second one will be skippable, because obviously less money is being made from those skippable ads, both by the content creator and by Google or Alphabet or YouTube or whatever you want to call it. So it's just a way of them making sure that they're capitalizing on that giant market stranglehold that they have. I can't say that I'm that mad about it, because I haven't looked up the pricing in a while, but you can get YouTube Premium for, what is it, $12 a month. Okay, so $12 a month for YouTube Premium, which is one of those things like, that's, we're getting close to Netflix costs, right? Well, how much time do you spend on YouTube? If it's a lot, that might be worth it, right? Just to not have to deal with these commercials anymore, or at least a lot fewer of them with YouTube Premium. So it could be something where they're trying to gently nudge people, hey, give us $12 a month and you don't have to deal with this anymore. So there's a lot of reasons why they might be doing that. But it's a good question. And but it was way too serious. Okay, I expect more from you, William Mack. Enough of this seriousness. How dare you? How dare you, sir? All right. Disney bundle is $3.99 a month for 3 months. Not bad. Yeah, not bad. It's one of those things. I wonder how many, especially in the U.S., is Disney Plus close to saturating this market. Obviously there's a lot they can do internationally, the way Netflix expanded internationally, and that kind of just shot them from the 100 million subscribers to the 200 million subscribers within a few years. I wonder if this is just kind of a way to either entice people back, or get those last few people who didn't sign up for Disney Plus in the first place, who've been thinking about it. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. All right, excuse me. Okay. My Roku device is making me log in to YouTube Premium almost any time I click on the app. It doesn't do this on my PC. Any reason why this might happen? Cindy, that's a good question. I don't know. Let's see. Your Roku device is making me log in. The only thing I can think of that you might do would be to reinstall the YouTube app. The first thing you should do, if you haven't done it lately, is restart your Roku. When we turn off our Rokus, it'll put it to sleep, but it won't turn it off necessarily. So if you do a restart, sometimes that will, there's a little glitch in the software somewhere, and it just needs a reset. This is the old IT thing, right? Turn it off, turn it back on. That's why they have you do that so often. So that could be something that's going on. And if that doesn't work, try deleting and reinstalling the YouTube app. Maybe that will refresh that for you. But hey, I'm not exactly a Roku tech support troubleshooter guy, so that's the best I got for you. Let's see. Google didn't get to be one of the world's most profitable companies by accident. Ain't that the truth? All right. Although I think we can all agree that as skilled as they have been, there's a lot of luck involved. There's some really good timing involved for Roku for Google. So, well, for Roku too. All right. Why does YouTube have ads? Well, they got to make money. Somebody's got to pay for the platform, right? And it's free for you to use YouTube. And if it's free for you to use, then somebody has to pay for it. And so in that case, advertisers are paying for it. Same thing with Facebook, right? Facebook's got to make money. And so they generated tens of millions. I'm thinking, 15 years ago. They generated tens of millions, hundreds of millions of users before they finally said, okay, it's time. And they turned on the ads. And because you go to an advertiser, and Netflix is going to be this way in just a few short months. You go to an advertiser and say, let's say you're YouTube, and say, hey, you should advertise on my platform. And they go, why? You go, because we have 200 million active monthly users, whatever it was at the time, when they turned on ads 12 years ago. I'm not sure exactly when it was. They go 200 million users. Okay, he'd take my money, right? That's why they have ads. All right. YouTube is a long way from the days of 3-minute ads promoting MLM training. Was I invited to the Warner Discovery event in New York City this past week? If I had been, Jeff, you'd know. I would tell you all, but no, I was not invited to the event. I expect you all to go on Twitter and bug all the streaming companies that, tell them that I need to be invited to these things. I don't know. I'm not sure I would have even been able to go, but no, I was not invited. Okay. So Morgan, you've sent this message about what 10 times, and I'm curious as to why. It's getting a little bit spammy. Okay, so heads up on that. I think we've seen it, that Roku's doing a free giveaway with their products. Okay, so yeah, so take it easy on that. It's yeah, like I say, it's feeling a little bit spammy at this point. Okay, YouTube should do a bundle. Interesting. I have always thought that it would make sense if you sign up for YouTube TV, because it's what is it, $65 a month? Are they up to 70? I know Hulu's up to 70. Well, regardless, it's a crazy expensive service because it has to be. I'm not blaming them for that, but it's a crazy expensive service. Wouldn't it be nice if one of the perks is here's YouTube Premium? That would be cool. What else could they bundle with? YouTube TV. What else does Google own streaming wise? I mean, obviously they've got the platform, right? They've got Google TV. They have Android TV. Um, they have Google Play where you can go buy stuff or rent stuff, but I'm not sure what they would bundle with. It's an interesting idea. But yeah, let me know what they would bundle with. You say cable will not die. Take, for example, vinyl resurgence. I myself have bought, I don't know, 6 or 7 vinyl records this year because I have the man bun. Okay, I got to keep up my hipster cred. No, I do like vinyl. It's a lot of people talk about, oh, it sounds so much better, and that might be true in some circumstances. But for me, I like the tactile nature, where you actually have to flip it to the next side. So you're more like actively engaged with your music and not just kind of letting it wash over you. So I do like vinyl for a lot of reasons. But yeah, also because I have a man bun, so I'm legally required to like vinyl, I think. Is that right? Any lawyers in the audience can let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure it's a requirement. All right. So I did want to get to another. Oh, shoot. Did I lose my chart? I wanted to get to another news story. This one was really interesting. Where did it go, you guys? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. I've got 2 more things to go over. And I love this quote. Okay, so I'm going to pull up this one. There's a couple of sources that I can use for this, but we're going to go to Yahoo Finance because I love this quote that they got from a media exec. All right, here we go. So Netflix has laid off a bunch of employees. That's kind of the headline here. But let's look at the headline. Netflix layoffs just the start as streamer stages rebound. It's time to be a real company, says media exec. So there you go. Let's see. The company confirmed that it will be laying off about 150 positions of the streamer's 11,000 person workforce in an effort to reduce spending and offset slowing revenue growth. And usually the first team to go is marketing, which is great as a marketer. Thank you very much. We're always the first to go. We get fired, so you don't have to. Okay, you're welcome, everybody. All right. So yeah, and then it's probably just this one just kind of focuses on they're doing this because they've lost a ton of money. They need to stop the bleeding. Oh, okay, so that they do have a name for that guy, founding partner at on-prem, whatever that is. All right, so Yeah, this one kind of gets into a lot of speculation, but I think it's an interesting thing to keep track of. I wonder what's going to happen with Netflix and how they're going to kind of right the ship and get back on track. We'll see how it goes. We will see. I guess we can leave that one there for a minute uh, so people can still see it. There we go. Okay, so let's see what if we have any questions on that one. Let's see. Has there been any discoloration on your on Android TV remote? Over time, my remote buttons became like a light shade of red for some reason. I haven't had that problem, but it's probably because I haven't used the remote a ton. But who knows? Yeah, whatever dye or pigment they put in the plastic or the rubber or whatever the buttons are made out of could just degrade over time. I wouldn't worry too much about it as long as it's still working. The music was just better back then. Uh, it's time to become a real company by laying people off. Gotta love corporate greed. Well, yeah, look, it's. I think it's easy for us to say something like that. It's easy for us to look at Netflix laying off 150 people and go, "Oh, how dare you!" But at the same time, it's let's take the idea of Netflix as an employer and that being part of their responsibility, right? Is that they provide income for in this case what an 11,000 person workforce, now soon to be if not already a little bit less. Um, if they are irresponsible with their spending, if they have too many people employed and that is almost always, I mean, okay, maybe not for a company like Netflix, but that is a if it's not the biggest line item, in their case it's probably production costs, right? uh but if it's not the biggest one for almost any company out there, that is going to be a massive line item on your profit and loss is your employees. So those salary costs are huge, and it's not just salary. Of course, you're paying taxes, and you're providing healthcare benefits, and this and that and the other. So it's a lot of money, right? 150 employees is probably a lot of money for Netflix. Anyway, my point being, it's easy to call them, greedy, but it could be one of those things where they're like, hey, we want to keep employing 10,000 people, so we have to lay off a certain number of them in order to maintain this company, to keep the company afloat. So it's in the short term it really does suck. I've been at companies where this has happened. It is not a happy thing. Nobody likes it. um, but if the company is going to survive and keep being an employer, then they have to sometimes do that sort of thing. And it's also just this idea of it's time to become a real company. I think it's not so much referring to that concept as it is just referring to, like, Netflix enjoyed near monopoly status. Even when it wasn't a monopoly, it was they were so dominant in their space that um, they never had to worry about any competition from anybody, and now they do. And so I think this is more like what this quote is talking about. Like they are finally facing some real competition. They have to think more and not just long term, because I think Netflix has thought long term for a long time, but they also have to think about the short term. They have to think about, are we doing okay now, not just are we going to be doing okay in 5 years or 10 years. So that's probably more like what that's referring to. All right, Peter with the bold prediction: will binging will soon be dead. Not a good way to keep subs. um I mean, it's a good way to keep some subscribers, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix ended up doing some shows binge style and then others weekly. We'll see. All right. Anyone else having low retention on the Roku remote when it's charged? Mine lasts about 2 weeks. Depending on how much you use it, that seems all right to me. Plug it in every once in a while. I mean, I would hope for more like 2 months, but again, I don't know how much you use it. So, all right. Advertising and marketing, the first to go. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. All right. John's new favorite app is Paramount Plus. Man, this is making me wish that I could get my laptop working so we could pull up the PS5 because Paramount Plus is one of the two or three like really important popular apps that is not available on the PS5, and I'm a little confused about that. Okay. Uh, uh, uh. Can you review? Can you do a review of YouTube TV on demand VOD? Oh gosh, I haven't used YouTube TV's on demand in a while. So not right now. I can't do that right now. But okay. All right. Good. I think we have caught up on the comments. So I'm going to do one last just a chart. This isn't so much a story as a chart. This does come from a story about people. There are those out there, investors, who they love to jibber jabber about this the company and that company, make predictions and whatnot. And I don't get into those games, especially not here on this stream. Uh, we do not give investment advice on this stream. I know that will shock many of you, but it's true. But I did want to show you this chart because in one of those stories, they had a cool chart that lays out Roku's users um, in millions. Here we go. All right, going all the way back to the third quarter of 2016. So in 2016, they had 11. Okay, I guess they ended 2016 with call it 14 million subscribers or users. Roku did. They're now up to 61 million users. That's pretty impressive. That is some steady, stable, sustainable growth. So anybody who is down on Roku would do well to remember that a lot of people find it very valuable. I'm a daily Roku user, although I guess for the past 2 weeks I've been a daily PlayStation user, but I do that on my Roku TV anyway. So yeah, it's an interesting chart. And yeah, I just wanted to share that one with you guys. It's kind of the last little tidbit that I'll share with you. But let's see what we've got. Um, William Mack says PS streaming is for another show. I've still got 3 serious questions. Let me try one more time, William Mack, on the laptop over there. I'll see if I can get it working. If I can't, I can't. It's a cheap freaking. It wasn't even that cheap, honestly. It's it was not inexpensive, but it sure is cheap, that laptop. But let me see if I can get it working okay. Again, I wish I had hold music, but we'll just have to do this for now, and I'll be back in just a moment. You guys, it's working. Oh, now I gotta go mute the laptop. Okay, hang on. Okay, now we're talking. All right, you guys, it's working. Okay, so just keep swimming. Who says there are no miracles? Not me. There are miracles. They happen. Look at that. Okay, it doesn't look great. But rest assured, the actual PlayStation looks much better. But here we have it. Okay, so you guys, we've got a screen we can share here. So go ahead and hit me with your questions, William Mack. You said that. Oh, let's see. Somebody said Xbox is the better streamer. I don't doubt that. At least right now, I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation gets better at it. But it doesn't surprise me right now if Xbox is the better streamer right now. But yeah, go ahead and hit me with some questions on this, and I will show you guys what I was able to see with this. All right. So where was I? Okay, so to give you an idea of what we're looking at here with the PlayStation as a streamer. Yes, we've got the PlayStation remote, the controller, right? What do they call it? The DualShock 5, I believe it is. But it also comes with its very own streaming remote. Now, did you watch yesterday's video? I hope you watched yesterday's video. I tried to make this clear. We'll see if I succeeded. But the PlayStation 5 media remote is one of the worst remotes I have ever come across, at least in the streaming era. Okay, you can argue that it might be better than some of the cable and satellite remotes we had 20 years ago, but it is rough. Okay, so yeah, it is rough. But we can talk about why that might be. Let's go ahead and let's pop into PlayStation here. We're actually going to go to the home page. We're not going to play a game right now. Been playing Horizon Forbidden West, so no spoilers. Thank you very much. I will be very upset if you spoil that for me. But let me give you a little tour here. Again, I did some of this on yesterday's video, but sometimes it's nice if you can interact with me while I'm doing this. You can ask your questions. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to go up here. So you can see up at the top, it has games and media. So we're going to stick with the media for most of this. But all right, so let's take some questions as we go. I have to do my homework for this chat. Yeah, you do. That's right. All right. Is the remote that bad? Is it worse than the first Apple TV 4K remote? I think it's worse. The thing about the first Apple TV remote, is it was always bad, but I never hated it. I was dissatisfied with it, but I didn't hate it. I actually hate this remote. The saving, or I should say, one of the saving graces on the first Apple TV remote, the Apple TV 4K remote. And you guys remember the one? It had the touchpad, the trackpad at the top. But the saving grace on that was talk to text or talk to type. And so, it was kind of annoying to try to get around, especially if you're doing passwords and email addresses. But they always had that you just hold down the microphone button and speak your email address or password. and it did really well with that. And so that was always the saving grace for me with that one. It made me not hate it. I didn't love the profile. It wasn't great to hold. It got lost easily. But hey, it was a rechargeable remote with talk to text capabilities. And the trackpad, honestly, I like the trackpad on that more than I like the trackpad feature on the new version of, I wish they would have just gone with a directional pad, but hey, whatever. Apple's gonna Apple. So is that bad? Yeah, this remote, let's see if I can, yeah. And again, I pointed this out in the video, but this directional pad is so bad. I can barely comprehend like how awful it is to try to use this. If I'm trying to actually do directions with this, let's contrast that with you contrast it with the Roku remote that I've got right here. And with this one, you place your thumb in the middle. Oh gosh, this is hard to do. Place your thumb in the middle, and then you just kind of have to like rock back and forth to get to the directional buttons. But with something like this, you really have to move your entire finger, your entire thumb to get all the way over to where the button is. So it's those little things. It's like, did nobody actually use this? I can understand why, like, if you're looking at a design, some designer comes back and says, I think this is what it should look like. It's like, yeah, it looks okay, I guess. We can talk about the circle buttons in just a moment, but like the directional pad looks okay, I guess. But did nobody use it before they put this into production? Like, it's terrible. The terrible, terrible directional pad. The other thing is, like I pointed out, two more things that are just awful is most of the buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 buttons on this remote out of the 15 or 16 buttons are circles, and they're the same size circle. Why is that a problem? Because if I'm, again, this is just the one I have next to me, but I could use any number of other remotes. But with something like this Roku remote, the play pause button is huge. These ones are slimmer, but they have the same height profile. These ones are shorter. That one's even smaller than the other two next to it, right? Where you have, and then these two are, they're even a different size, and they're kind of concave compared to the other one. Like this one is a convex button. This is a concave button. Those little details where after a while, you kind of know, oh, the play pause is the big one. So that's where my thumb is. And you get it by feel. You don't get anything like that here because they're all that same kind of circle, right? And then the other thing that drove me crazy is that you can look at how flush they all are to the top of the remote, or to the casing. And so again, if we're comparing it, like it's very tactile on my Roku remote. I know what I'm feeling as I run my thumb over it. I don't get that kind of feedback with this remote. So is the remote that bad? Yes, it is that bad. It is frankly awful. Okay. So, okay. Had to pay extra for the remote. Yeah, I think I paid $25 for the remote, if I remember right. Because I ordered it directly from PlayStation. You can sign up for you put your name in a hat. Basically, you go on their website, you put your name in a hat, and then they'll email and say it was a little it's a little weird, but I had to go on their website for an opportunity to buy a PS5. And so I go in, and then I waited in line to go into their online store. And I actually wanted a PS5 with a disc drive badly. I wanted it pretty bad. But by the time I was in there, all they had left was the digital editions. So if anybody knows somebody who has a disc edition that doesn't use the disc drive, let me know, because I'll make it worth their while. Okay. Reminds me of the first Air TV remote. Oh my gosh, what a blast from the past. Holy smokes. Let's see if we can pull that up. Sling TV, Air TV, original. I want to see if I can find some old pictures of it. That thing was, that thing was, it was really something. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's see if I can open this image. I assume this is the one you're talking about. Let me see if I can add this one to the stream. There we go. That was that. This is the Air TV that I remember. I don't know if you're thinking of something else, but this remote does it. I don't think that they're too terribly similar, but I guess it does remind me of a not very good remote. I and this is another thing that PlayStation, they've got here. Let me blow this up again. They've got the PS button at the bottom, and that is a button, right? Just like on your PlayStation controller. Um, but I don't like those kind of cutout buttons, and so with this one, yeah, they had the cutout power button at the top. Not great, not great. But that's a blast from the past. That was actually, if you go back on our channel, one of the very first videos I ever did was a review of that Air TV player. I want to see if I can find that review. My gosh, you guys, that is such a blast from the past. Okay, so go to your channel. Then we're gonna go to Air TV. Oh, no. I want to search on my channel. Thank you very much. Air TV. Holy smokes. Okay. Now we're talking, you guys. Look at this. Apple, let's see, the Air TV Player Review 2017. I did an unboxing and a review. 16-minute unboxing. Hey, not bad. It got 85,000 views. 5 years ago. Wow. So there you go. My gosh. Thanks for reminding me of that one. That's good. Okay, did I miss I was promised questions about the PlayStation from William Mack. I think you gave me one. Okay. It sucks and you pay extra. That's exactly right. No, I mean you can do most everything with this, but you can't control your TV with that. So okay. Not necessarily. Okay, so Mel says it's ridiculous to pay extra for a remote that should come with the thing in the first place. I not necessarily, just because the way I put it at the end of that video yesterday was who is the like and this goes not just for PlayStation, but this goes for Xbox as well. You can even stream to a certain extent on your like a Nintendo Switch. It has some streaming capabilities, not a ton. I'm not saying it's going to replace anything, but that's kind of my point. Is the PlayStation, the Xbox, these aren't necessarily going to replace anything either, at least as constituted, because this is why you buy a PlayStation, right? This is it. This is not why you buy a PlayStation. This is kind of a, yeah, I mean, if you're going to use it to watch TV, maybe you get this. I got this because I do a streaming channel, and so it was worth it to me to give it a shot, right? But this is why you buy the PlayStation. The point is, if you buy a PlayStation, you're using it to play games. And then as a cherry on top, you can get you can also stream should you so choose. And it's not the other way around, right? If you buy an Apple TV or a Fire TV, or even a few years ago, a Roku Ultra, they don't do this anymore. But like with the Apple TV, the Fire TV, they talk about its gaming capabilities. You can buy the Bluetooth controller, or you can use the actual TV controller that you've got with your Fire TV to run a few games on it. But it's a streamer first and foremost, not a gamer. But the PS5 is the other way around. It's a gamer first, and then maybe a streamer a little bit on top of that, right? So yeah, and it's not a crazy thing to say. I'm not sure I agree, because yeah, this is definitely it's a novelty, right? Uh, uh, I would buy a Shield rather than a PS5 for streaming purposes. Yeah, absolutely. I never did get the first PlayStation console, but I never got a 3, but I had 2, 4, and now 5. So, all right. Which apps have Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision on the PlayStation 5? That's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that. If we want, we can look at um so Prime Video is usually the best one about showing you what happens with a title or what you're going to get out of a title. The other ones aren't as clear necessarily. Um, okay. Oh, I don't want to sign in. Let's just browse videos for a moment. I guess I never did sign in on this one. That's okay. So let's look at like the boys should definitely be okay. So now we're going to blow this up a little bit more. So this one, HDR, UHD, 5.1 surround. So yeah, let's see. What are you asking about Dolby Atmos? Let's see. So is it gonna show on there? Yeah, it might not really show us. It's a great question. I don't have the answer to it necessarily. Um, okay, so let's go back to our home page here. All right. Let's see. Question: why do you think it is YouTube bots are so sensitive regarding legitimate concerns about the platform? Put Amazon in a comment. Look for your comment after 10 seconds gone. I don't know. I couldn't tell you about that. Uh, Content moderation is a very, very hot topic right now, and I don't think anybody knows quite what to do about it. So, yeah. Levi says I use my PS5 for some of my streaming, not all. Yeah, that's about all you can do, right? This was like the MLB app, which, as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, is I use it almost daily for 6 months out of the year, right? I love it. Um, but this remote, or I should say it's the software, like it would just not work with the remote about 30% of the time. It just wouldn't. No fast forward, no play pause, no whatever. Um, it drove me absolutely crazy. And so, sorry, the reason I'm thinking of that is because Levi says I use it for some of my streaming, not all. And yeah, at this point, like I might pop over and like if I'm already on my PS5 and I'm like, yeah, I'd rather watch a Twitch stream, then I'll just use this, pop over, turn on Twitch, great. But I'll never use it for the MLB app ever again. Now that I'm done testing it for the channel, but I'll use other stuff with it. It's all fine. Let's see. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right. Crossing my fingers I don't get banned. I mean, I might ban you, but only just for fun. It's a friendly ban, right? Let's see. I don't have a PlayStation or Xbox. Yeah, it's this is not the kind of topic for absolutely everybody out there. Um, it's a kind of topic for those who have it. And if you don't have it, you don't have to worry about it. Um, okay. You could game with a shield if I'm not mistaken. You absolutely can. In fact, the shield, the Nvidia Shield, used to come with um it used to come with a gaming controller. It was a really interesting one too. I think I left that one back at the office at that job that I quit. Um, but so I don't have access to it anymore. But it looked very much like your standard kind of Xbox or PS at the time PS4 controller. But it had gosh, how do you put it? Kind of uh oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? Geometric. It had like a geometric surface, so you'd have like diamonds and squares and whatnot, and they were like kind of cut into the surface, so it felt very weird to hold. um I don't know. Yeah, very, very odd. Okay, let's see. Do you think that Roku will lose much market value in another future dispute with YouTube or Google? I don't know. I don't know. And look, I don't. That's another thing. Like like you said, I don't really get into uh, content moderation issues. Like I don't know enough about it to reliably tell you guys what what I might think. And it's kind of the same thing here. Do I think that they would lose much market value? I don't know. All I know is that from a consumer perspective, it sucks when mom and dad are fighting, right? It's not a lot of fun for us. So let's see. The MLB app is horrible on anything but a tablet. That's been my experience. I actually I think I get where you're coming from, but there is one way in which I really disagree. The MLB TV app on a streaming device. So on a Fire TV, on a Roku, on an Apple TV. When I click, so let's say the game started 2 hours ago and I want to watch from the beginning, then it will on a streaming device and I say start watching, it will start from the beginning. And and I can scoot forward if I want to. But if I start watching on a tablet with my iPad and I use my was it my dad's Android tablet did the same thing. On a tablet, it starts live. No matter what button you push, watch from the beginning, watch live, whatever, it always starts live. And so if I'm watching on a tablet, I have to kind of like hide most of the screen so I can maybe like go track back to the beginning of the game. So that does drive me crazy. But other than that, yeah, it works great on the tablets. So yeah, it's good. Ban me, says Roy. Well, not today because I think we're going to be all done for today. Um, all right. So, you guys, yeah, we're going to call it for today. Unless you have any last questions about streaming on a PlayStation or something else like that, you can let me know. You guys, I'm actually using the remote right now. Okay, I'm being good. I will show you the last thing as we head out is what apps are available. This is it, okay? And this barely counts as an app because this is like the saved videos from your gameplay, right? Um, Spotify and Apple Music, those are your two music apps, and then the rest of it is this is it. There's about 30 of them. We do have all the major sports on there: MLB, NBA, NHL, Sunday Ticket. That's great. But as we kind of referenced earlier, it's missing Paramount Plus, and it's also missing Discovery Plus, two really big omissions. Down here at the bottom, these are VR and experience apps, so we're not counting those. At some point, maybe VR will be a thing, but it's not yet. Sorry, VR enthusiasts, it's just not there yet. It's not a thing. So anyway, yeah, that's it. Let's see. The Roku Ultra is on sale for $80 right now. Is this a good deal? Does it get cheaper? Depends on you're probably looking at the previous model. The new model Roku Ultra comes with the new remote, which is apparently pretty nice. I actually never got my hands on one. I got to go out and get my hands on one of these new Roku remotes. But so anyway, so if you're seeing $80 right now, that's probably the older one. The newer ones are retailing for 100 because of the updated software and hardware, the updated chipset and the updated remote. So it's going for $100 right now. If you're seeing 2022 model for $80, great. That sounds like a good deal. Even if it's not, like if it's a 2020 model or 2021? When did the last one come out? Whatever. If it's the other model, the previous model, $80 is a fine deal. It's you're not getting a deal, but it's still a really good streamer. So yeah, could be. All right, so guys, thank you so much for watching and for interacting. I really appreciate that. The Shield cannot hold a candle to the PS5 when it comes to gaming. I guess it can hold a candle to it, but it's a candle next to a roaring flame. The PS5 really is quite a powerful machine, and the Shield is great. Don't get me wrong. I love the NVIDIA Shield. It's not built necessarily to compete with consoles like the Xbox or the PS5. at that level when it comes to gaming. It just has other tricks up its sleeve. So it's not quite the same thing. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I will see you. Oh, actually, I will not see you next Friday. Okay. I'm going to be on the road. I'm heading to Portland, Oregon. So I'm going to be driving all day next Friday. So I will see you in 2 weeks when we do this stream again. Thanks so much for watching.